Prince Harry's life took a shocking turn. A judge has revealed secrets that could change everything. Behind closed doors, Meghan's plans were far more calculated than anyone imagined. Friends whisper, allies panic, and now the world sees the truth he never expected. Trust shattered, loyalties tested. Harry's world may never be the same again. This is the story they didn't want you to hear. Prince Harry's life was not always headlines and palace drama. For years, he lived in a carefully constructed world. Royal traditions, public appearances, and private moments shielded from the world. To outsiders, it looked like a life of privilege and ease. But behind the gilded walls, cracks were forming. Friends close to Harry noticed a subtle shift. He was quieter, more contemplative. Smiles in public were sometimes forced. There were private conversations that hinted at unrest, but the prince rarely spoke openly. His world was orderly, but fragile, like a crystal vase perched on the edge of a shelf. The arrival of Meghan Markle changed everything. Initially, Harry seemed captivated by her independence and charisma. She brought a fresh perspective to royal life, a world that had always felt restrictive. But with excitement came tension. The royal family's scrutiny was relentless. Every gesture, every word, every appearance was analyzed and dissected. Harry faced invisible pressures. Tradition demanded he conform, yet his heart pulled him in a new direction. Decisions that once seemed simple now carried weighty consequences. He had to navigate not only the expectations of the crown but also his desire for personal happiness. Minihook. Little did Harry know, while he balanced duty and desire, whispers of secret plans were already circulating. Plans that would soon shatter the delicate equilibrium of his world. The stage was set. Trust, loyalty, and love would all be tested. And the cracks that were barely noticeable would soon widen into chasms that no royal protocol could repair. Behind the palace gates, Meghan Markle was not the carefree duchess the public thought they knew. Sources inside the royal circle describe her as ambitious, strategic, and carefully calculating each step of her journey. Every meeting, every conversation, every public appearance seemed part of a larger plan. One that many in the palace didn't fully understand, until it was too late. Whispers began circulating among staff and advisors. Some described late-night phone calls, secret meetings with key allies, and private discussions about media strategy. She knew exactly what she wanted, one insider said, and she was willing to move quietly to get it. It wasn't just about lifestyle or image. It was influence, positioning, and control over narratives, especially Harry's. Minihook. While Harry believed he was acting in love and trust, Meghan was quietly shaping the course of their shared future. Decisions and moves that the public would never see coming. Sources suggest that Meghan had a long-term vision for her and Harry's life outside the confines of traditional royal duties. This included media ventures, private initiatives, and careful management of public perception. Every action was deliberate, every word measured. The palace, used to transparent hierarchies and centuries-old protocols, struggled to keep pace with her modern, calculated approach. The tension was palpable. Close aides noticed Harry becoming conflicted, torn between loyalty to the crown and trust in Meghan. Arguments behind closed doors were hushed, yet sharp. It was a delicate dance between love and duty, one that would soon explode in a courtroom revelation. Minihook. And then came the bombshell. A judge would later uncover evidence that confirmed what insiders had only feared. Meghan's moves were not just ambitious. They were meticulously planned, and Harry had been blindsided in ways he never imagined. The courtroom was tense. Cameras flashed. A hush fell over the legal observers as the judge began to speak. What came next stunned everyone. For the first time, the public would hear the truth behind the palace walls. Truths that had been carefully hidden from the world. Documents and testimonies revealed Meghan's calculated maneuvers. Emails, messages, and private correspondence painted a picture of planning that extended far beyond ordinary royal decisions. The judge detailed how meetings had been arranged, public statements coordinated, and legal strategies mapped out, all with precision. Harry, many realized, had been kept in the dark about key steps in the plans that would affect his life and role within the monarchy. Minihook. For months, the palace insiders had suspected that someone was steering the narrative. Now, the judge's findings confirmed it. The world watched as a facade of love and unity began to crumble under legal scrutiny. The revelations didn't just involve personal decisions. They exposed how Meghan sought to influence media coverage and public perception. Certain announcements and appearances were timed perfectly, giving her control over the spotlight and, in effect, over Harry's public image. Advisors described a whirlwind of strategic interventions, leaving Harry scrambling to catch up. The courtroom drama sent shockwaves through the royal family. Cousins, aides, and longtime friends were caught off guard. Questions flew. Had Harry truly been aware? Could he have acted differently? And most importantly, what did this mean for his future? Minihook. The judge's words were clear. Plans had been made, and Harry's world had been shaken in ways even he hadn't fully grasped. For those who followed palace life closely, it was a moment that would rewrite the narrative of the Duke and Duchess forever. The palace corridors buzzed with unease. Staff whispered in hushed tones. Longtime advisors, some loyal for decades, exchanged worried glances. Harry's world was unraveling, and no one knew exactly how to respond. Close friends of the prince described his growing frustration. He felt blindsided, betrayed, and unsure who to trust. Some advisors tried to mediate, reminding him of protocol and caution. Others quietly documented every interaction, sensing the drama could become a defining moment in royal history. The tension was not just personal, it was political, strategic, and highly sensitive. Minihook. Behind the gilded walls, alliances shifted. Trusted confidants weighed loyalty to Harry against the realities of the palace hierarchy. Every conversation felt loaded, every smile potentially deceptive. Reactions varied across the royal circle. Some were sympathetic to Harry, recognizing his shock and anger. Others were critical, suggesting he should have seen the warning signs. And a few, far from the spotlight, were quietly strategizing their own moves, knowing that a shaken air changes the balance of power. The palace press office faced unprecedented pressure. Officials struggled to manage leaks, statements, and media speculation. Every report fueled the public's fascination, amplifying the tension inside the walls. Rumors of confrontations, secret meetings, and midnight strategy sessions swirled relentlessly. Minihook. Even in this controlled, centuries-old environment, the personal became public, and the public became personal. Trust had fractured. Friendships were tested, and the palace was left navigating an unpredictable storm that would leave no one untouched. Harry's world had shifted. What once felt predictable, secure, and guided by tradition now felt unpredictable, even dangerous. The judge's revelations and Meghan's secretive maneuvers left him questioning everything: his choices, his trust, and his future. Friends describe a man torn between loyalty and self-preservation. He struggled to reconcile love with betrayal. Every meeting with advisors became tense, every public appearance carefully measured. Even family dinners, once routine, were shadowed by suspicion and unspoken questions. Harry faced a dual reality: the private pain of feeling blindsided and the public pressure of maintaining dignity under intense scrutiny. Minihook. Behind every smile at official events, Harry carried the weight of shocking truths. Decisions that once seemed simple, where to live, what causes to support, which media statements to release, now carried life-altering consequences. Sources suggest he contemplated multiple courses of action. Some involved stepping back from royal duties entirely, others considered public confrontations, and a few hinted at legal measures to protect his autonomy. Each option had risks. Each move could spark another wave of controversy. And yet, Harry knew inaction was not an option. The fallout wasn't just emotional. It was strategic. Advisors worried about the long-term impact on his role, the monarchy's image, and even international perceptions. Every choice Harry made now could redefine his legacy. Minihook. The man who once lived in the royal shadow was now forced to carve his own path. Fast, precise, and under the world's relentless gaze. Every decision was a test of character, resolve, and vision. The world was watching. Newspapers, Online platforms and social media exploded with reactions to the judge's revelations. Headlines screamed, opinion pieces debated. Fans and critics alike dissected every detail. Harry and Meghan's private lives had become a global spectacle. Mini-hook. No one could escape the frenzy. Every revelation sparked new questions, rumors, and speculation. What was true? What was spin? And who was really in control of the narrative? In the UK, tabloids portrayed Harry as a betrayed prince, caught in a web of manipulation. Meanwhile, American media highlighted Meghan's ambition, questioning whether her moves were strategic brilliance or calculated overreach. Online forums lit up with debates, memes, and heated discussions. Even casual observers felt the intensity. This was more than royal drama. It was a worldwide obsession. Palace insiders report that the constant scrutiny weighed heavily on Harry. Each new article, each viral clip, reminded him of how exposed he truly was. Meanwhile, Meghan faced criticism and support in equal measure, her every statement dissected for hidden motives. Mini-hook. Across the globe, trust, loyalty, and love were being questioned. The story of a prince and his duchess became a mirror for public fascination with power, ambition, and betrayal. Analysts suggested that this media storm could redefine the royal family's relationship with the public for years. How the couple responded would not only impact their personal lives, but also the monarchy's global image. Every move, every interview, every appearance was now under an unforgiving microscope. With the courtroom revelations and global scrutiny behind them, Harry and Meghan now face a future filled with uncertainty and opportunity. Their next moves will define not only their personal lives but also their legacy in the eyes of the world. Insiders suggest that Harry is determined to regain control over his life. No longer content to be a pawn in palace politics or public narratives, he's weighing paths that allow independence while maintaining influence. Meghan, ever strategic, is reportedly planning ventures that blend philanthropy, media, and public influence, moves that could secure both their standing and their financial autonomy. Mini-hook. But the road ahead is anything but smooth. Trust has been fractured, alliances tested, and public opinion remains split. Every choice carries risks that could ignite new controversies. The couple faces tough decisions. How to balance royal responsibilities with personal freedom, which causes to champion publicly, and how to navigate a media landscape that seems to thrive on conflict and speculation. Every announcement, every project, every interview will be scrutinized, analyzed, and debated across continents. Palace insiders believe that this period of upheaval could redefine the modern monarchy itself. Harry and Meghan may become a blueprint for royals seeking autonomy in an era of constant media scrutiny. But there are dangers too.